Good morning, beautiful. I hope that this finds you well rested, ready to begin your day. This is your Daily Tarot Oracle, your daily insight on life and love for July 18th, 2022. Also being timeless. Wherever you're catching it in time, it might be relevant or at least entertaining. Maybe you're just going to stare at the screen the entire time you won't catch it. But all that's in your court now, isn't it? It's general collective. Don't ever force these bad boys to hit your life. You can cast them away. You can ask questions about booking a private reading of any kind or any of the services I provide. So there's a little part at the beginning, also at the end, also in the description, also on my Facebook page, all the ways of contact so that you can actually see what session might be right for you. We can talk pricings, availability, time zones, discounts, all that jazz. We can talk anything. But anyway, see what might be right for you. Let's kick off this reading, because what I'm seeing in here, it looks like it's finally time and you finally feel it in you, like it's you're able to start getting out of this major cloud. You're starting to release this pain. You're starting to actually heal your heart. I do feel like this is divinely inspired. I do feel like this has been all consuming for an extended period of time. This is not a good feeling to be in, but I also feel like you couldn't help but be completely engulfed in this. It's like you didn't quite know how to exist outside of this pain. So whatever was going on with you, to say it's traumatic is an understatement. I feel like this is a place where you had to surrender all of that pain, that misfunction, this whatever the excruciating upset was. And I see that you're able to start really clearing your head. I feel like you're finally able to let yourself move on. This is healing. This is cutting right to the point. The very end part of this is the ability to prove to yourself more than anybody else that you've healed. And this is something that's divinely protected too. So Spirit wouldn't let you out of your cocoon if you weren't ready. And I think that that's something that is so important for you to know. You are going to be held. You are going to be loved. You are going to be cocooned by the very source that, has, that has kind of created you. I know that sounds woojy, but, you're going to be protected by that loving source until it knows that it's time for you to come out. And this is where you're in communication with Spirit. And it's actually something that's very beautiful, borderline poetic. I'll go with it. But this is the thing. You're not quite sure if you deserve to come out of that pain. You're ready. Your heart, your higher self is all telling you that you're ready and that it is time. It's you, it's the ego, it's the issue with worthiness, it's your guilt that is telling you maybe you should stay for a little while longer. Maybe you haven't suffered enough. Maybe you haven't quite been through the absolute hellfire of it. This is a place of, I think that it's the judgment in reverse, but I don't think that you're avoiding judgment. I think that you're horribly misjudging yourself. I think that you're misjudging your circumstance and you're misjudging, how much pain you need to feel in this. I don't think that, as, just a regular person looking at this for you, I don't think that you really deserve to suffer any of it. This is for a higher purpose that kind of goes beyond probably our rational reasoning. That's never fun. But I'm also seeing that there's a lot of ties that you have with your pain. I think it really became part of your identity. I really feel like you didn't quite know how to be outside of it. And there's also that nervousness of having to figure out what you are outside of that pain, that agony, that anguish, the sense of just losing in life. I think that's a huge internal struggle that nobody really understands about you. It's not only your experience, it's your internal experience too. You really are nervous about what it will mean for you if you let go of this dysfunction or this pain or this agony that has been somehow in connection with your life. Maybe you're going through a time of releasing a lot of loss. This could be in the physical experience, maybe a lot of financial hardship, financial loss even. Maybe you're used to, oh God, this is a song that I heard a long time ago. I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't have anything to look it up right now. It's about losing kindred spirits and soulmates. Maybe you're tired and sick and afraid of always having to lose all of these important people in your life. That loss is coming to an end. That's a very painful chapter that you had just closed. Now, I don't want you to think that life isn't going to happen. I mean, transitioning into the next phase is very much a part of life, but the bulk of what you had experienced recently, that's not going to be a continuing thing with you. And also, a lot of people are getting out of really long-term, very disastrous connections in their life, whether it's romantic or not so much. But a lot of things are coming to an end. So there's maybe you're not ready to let it go. Maybe you're not ready to allow yourself to move on. Spirit's like, listen, you got to do this. But this is something that you've internalized in the war that you're going with, and that I think that you put on a very brave face for people around you. People looking at you, unless they know the details of your story, they would never guess that there is anything that is even remotely struggling with you. You probably have a very proud and stoic presence. That is very much a guard for something that is very fragile and vulnerable internally that you don't feel safe exposing. But, and this is a big but on this, there's two paths that are coming into play. Are you going to continue this painful path? Are you going to continue to identify with it? Because Spirit is giving you an open door to walk out. Are you going to do that? Are you going to let yourself move on? Or are you going to identify more and reinforce this pain in your life? Are you going to make this your karmic continuation? But I gotta ask, if you choose to continue to live in that pain, why? Like, what the F is that about? Like, why do you feel like you need to suffer more in this? Why do you always feel like you have, if you're not sacrificing yourself, your happiness, and the rest of your life, what are you doing with your time? Well, actually, I kind of want to pull another card on it. I still have these cards that I'm going to be working through with you. Okay, so should I? Yeah, I'm going to keep shuffling until something comes out. Why? Really? First off, I'm mad at you. I really am. Super mad. Knock it off. Really? 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 Okay. You're afraid that in this new cycle, the truth of how you see yourself or what you've done is going to come out. Spoiler alert, what's done in the dark will be brought to light, and stop fearing your stupid skeletons. Out of the history of the world, you're afraid of what could be said or done about you. That is going to be your prison. No. So that's the only reason why you would keep yourself in dire straits, is because from what has happened in your life, Irish girls, out of what has happened in your life, you honestly think that you don't deserve to move on because you have been a absolutely flawed human being like almost 8 other billion people have been? I'm going to tell you right now, that's stupid. That motivation to stay in absolute misery is stupid. Putting it out there. This new cycle, you've got to release those skeletons out of your closet. That is not going to help you grow. Maybe you feel like you don't deserve to grow. Sorry, you don't have a choice in that. You are growing through experience as you speak. You might as well let this go. And also, if you're hanging on to a really crap situation or a really crap theme of life, whatever is attached to that is in its own personal brand of hellfire in it, and you don't need any sort of connection to that. That person needs to have, or that thing needs to have, whatever's on the opposing side of this needs to have the freedom to actually choose and the informed decision to also walk away. This is only going to create more karmic debt for you. You don't need to do it. Both things are going to be a struggle, but the point of healing is to move on. But also, I want to go back to the beginning of the reading where, Spirit's talking about it's time. The debt is over. And in fact, you already paid interest on it. Now you're just being gratuitous with it. You need to free not only yourself, but everyone else or everything else that is involved in this. You need to free it up of that karmic debt. This is beating a dead horse, which is such a weird thing to say. Why is that a saying? It's beating a dead horse moving forward. So, okay, I forgot that this card was here. Staying is going to ruin you. Staying in this mindset, staying in this path, staying in the fog and that chosen misery, it's going to ruin you. I know that you still have the internal ability, the internal heart, and the hardened experience. If you continue on this, not only is it creating more karma, it's also going to very much ruin the beautiful spirit that you have. So, what are your choices? Are you going to allow yourself to heal and to move on and to see that through everything that you have done, everything that has been done, everything that you have been through, everything that you have survived, everything that you have even orchestrated, you still get to thrive. You still get to be happy. You still get to move on in this life. So, this brings about this wonderful bad boy of the Ten of Pentacles. This is going to involve absolutely windfall of not only luck, it's inspiration, it is loyalties. It's if you've been struggling with money, when you stop putting yourself in that state of disservice, you got a lot coming towards you, and it's pretty awesome. Like you could have Starbucks every day, awesome. Actually, you probably can, or you can't, or maybe you don't like Starbucks. What's wrong? It's Starbucks. Okay. But also, I see that this is going to involve a newfound sense of playfulness and innocence and this whole new system of drive and ambition. You're coming through all of this transformation, all of this trauma, all of this healing release, the massive insight of wisdom. Everything that you've been through is absolutely an asset and a tool to you. You're not a tool. I mean, we all behave like tools at some point. But, and again, that's a big but. You're pretty flippin' wise who can utilize all of that insight in this new chapter. And I want to call it very much getting finally what you deserve. Now that I've said that out loud, did that scare you? Or did it give you a sign of hope? If it's giving you a sign of hope, then you're still going to be dealing with that internal struggle, the internal battle that you had been keeping yourself in for an extended period of time. For some of you, it's been that extra half-hour wait, waiting for a ride to come. For some of you, it has been decades upon decades upon decades of absolute crap storm. So, I see that you're going to be moving on towards this healing process and this new chapter in life, but you're going to be doing it very timidly. This is somebody who is hoping for the best and preparing for the worst. Now, I am all about prepping. I am all about, doing dangerous stuff in a safe way. Explore your life. But, and again, this is a big but, this is not where you want to hold back. Spirit is going to show you very plainly, you're going to have to surrender. You're going to have to lay your weapons down. You're going to have to lay your armor down, because you are well naturally equipped to take care of yourself, to take care of what matters to you. You do not need to stand guard in half-hearted attempts to make any sort of dent. I want you to actually show up for this new chapter in your life as you are, completely vulnerably naked. Now, I say that in a very figurative way. Don't be showing up to places naked unless it's a nude beach, okay? Because then we're going to have legal issues. We're going to have indecent exposure issues, and we don't need that. Then there's just massive change that's coming in. We have the Justice card, Libra energy. So this actually might be a time frame of when you actually start to feel the comfort of this new healing phase. It's balanced. It's cutting through every problems moving forward. I really want you to take all the hardship and lessons that you had actively now decided to move on from, and let yourself move on from, and utilize it in the decision making. What is going to bring you closer to this goal, to this ambition, to this happiness, to this ability for you to not only survive, but have your cuppeth run over and thrive. This, I see that you're keeping a very humble approach to it. I see that you are looking straight forward. You're kind of wearing your heart on a sleeve, but the thing is, the shirt is yours, and I can like that. You are somebody who's going to be seeing through, I guess, example, through follow through. You're going to be very secure with yourself. I think that you're actually letting the skeletons come out of the closet at their own whim. You're owning every past thing that you have been somehow a part of. You're not going to be ashamed of the you moving forward. And I gotta tell you, this is what's gonna set off this balance in the new chapter. So we have the 10, so it's, you know, well, it's 11, but I'm looking at it as 10 and then a 1. So we have the 10 in awesome Roman numeral right there, which is cycles coming to an end and a new beginning. So we have the 1 of the new beginning, and then we have the 1 that is part of the present of the new beginning. So I'm letting my mind get creative and see that as a 2, which a 2 is all about balance. It's about juggling. It's about self-awareness. It's masculine and feminine, making an awesome yin-yang, which is as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. It is unification of everything. And again, to find that sense of wholeness in yourself and to forgive yourself for a less than perfect past. I see that there's nobody who's really coming to take you down or attack you, which is going to be refreshing. But I also see that you're laying up the reins so that you actually can start to live in that hope. You're going to start to stop being timid. You're going to live in the hope. You're actually starting to build momentum with every passing step. And I really love this about you. You're making sure that your grass is well watered on your side, and you're also putting the excess back where it belongs. So you're somebody who's very efficient, free, and abundant. Look at, we have 8 stars on here. The stars is the hope and the renewal, and the 8 is all about abundance and the infinity and the continuation of life. So there's life after this chapter that you are really thriving in, and it's proof that life really does go on and it does become great again. Look at all the blue surrounding this. It is not only the water and the land that's being cleansed, your soul is absolutely being cleansed in this. I see that you are being purified. You are getting a sense of purity in you. And I'm also seeing that any troubles that could be coming, they're way off in the distance, and you have to believe that you are beyond prepared for it, just even based off of your past experience. So we have another 8 of abundance, but it's the 8 of Pentacles. You're somebody who's working really hard to make these changes in your life, to get control over their life. You're paying very close attention to the details. You're the hangman that was cut out of the tree. You freed yourself up from being backed into a corner. You went through the Four of Cups, where you were closed off and Spirit gave you an opportunity that came out of nowhere and you weren't ready for. And now you're taking that opportunity and you're making magic with it. I absolutely love this reading for you. I think that you're somebody who's really paying close attention to not only the details of what needs to be done, you're utilizing the tree that was once your imprisonment. So you're taking the wisdom from that and you're using it as, I want to say, part of, I don't know, part of your display, part of an asset to the work. And whatever troubles were off in the background have become an empire all of their own. So it's a major growing point for you. What was once your entrapment is now your enlightenment, and is now your hard work and your freedom. And I see that this is a massive appreciation that you have for every part of the detail, for every detail of the detail, for the hard work that has been paying off in your life, and for your ability to come and go and know that anything that has been part of your challenge is somehow being utilized. You took branches and you made it into a bench that you could work on. You're taking the tools and you're starting to chisel from the cups and make this amazing artwork, this amazing healing, this amazing grounding. You're really focusing and you're getting incredibly grounded back down to earth. You're not living in your anxiety. You're not living in the remorse or the punishment of the past. This is absolutely beautiful and healing for you. And once again, it's a major windfall in this new cycle, huge in opportunity, huge in grounding, and huge for your, I want to say, your higher self, your path, your ego, your ambition, your just all around happiness and joy. Everything that has transpired, you need to understand that it is, when it's all, said and done, a major blessing in disguise and a huge tribute to the magnificent strength that is you. Hang on, it's getting better. I need you to know that. So I want to leave the reading there. And it's 2:22 as I finish the reading. So if you have questions about booking a private reading, whether it's based off of this or anything that's going on in your life or any of the services I provide, go to the end, go to the beginning, go to the description, go to my Facebook page, my business page, and reach out, see what might be right for you. I'm really proud of this reading, and you should be too. You've done amazing work. Until next time, stay safe, have fun. Know that you are very gratefully loved and appreciated. Bye. For this new start, it's absolutely fertile, it's beautiful, it's freeing, it's a 3, so it's a universal yes fist bump to Source, Spirit, God, whatever you happen to believe in. It is a high 5 to creation. This I see is dealing with Venus, so this is dealing with deep emotional relations in your life. It is how you relate to not only people, but I also want to kind of broaden this and say what your heart connects to as far as desires. I see that this is something that is a new start that is coming into play, and it's going to be very cushiony for you. I see that the solid foundation that this is absolutely for the heart. It's built on solid rock, and this is somebody who is out with the raw material, who can create some sort of crazy magic. It's absolutely eccentric, but it's also something that is dealing with, I think this is dealing with fall time, just a heads up. But we're gonna have some setbacks. We're gonna have you probably doing what you often do, and this is going back to probably some challenging behavior on your part. You're going to want to run back to an old ideal, an old mindset. You want to, it's really, in life coaching, we call it the resistance. So you get out of your comfort zone and you start to really make amazing progress with yourself, with life. And then that triggers some alarms in the head, because while the brain is amazing, it is also very stupid and wants to keep you safe and get you back to familiar patterns. So your brain is going to be tricking you into going back to an old pattern, an old behavior, an old mindset, whatever is familiar. And this could be same theme, but through different people, through different scenarios. Don't do it. You are in the resistance mode, and you do not have the right by yourself, I guess, to sabotage this. I see nothing but new fulfillment that is coming into play. It seemingly was coming out of nowhere. This could be either just new fulfilling chapter of life, a new fulfilling sense of peace and wholeness in yourself, emotional fulfillment and healing happening with you. And again, this is out of nowhere. Or this could be some sort of new emotionally fulfilling relationship in your life, whether it's romantic or platonic. But I get a very strong feeling for the fall season. So this, I want you to keep a very open mind with it. There's going to be a lot of information coming in what I want to say the dream state between now and the end of October going into November. And I feel like this is going to be insight that is to heal the emotional state, but to also break off old cycles and paradigms that are related to this. Be very calm and gentle with yourself. There's really no rush. But I feel like there's a lot of 3 around this. There's 2 3s. 2 out of the 3 cards are 3s. So 3. That actually, go look up the angel number. This is somehow connected to you. These things are happening in 3s. It is a divine hand. It is a sense of peace, and it is a new direction for you. Please let yourself graduate. I'm very excited for you. But the setbacks, I swear to God, they could be the biggest pain in the keisters. Also wanted to add, if it's not something that's new, then it is a deepening of the commitment and the situation that has already transpired. So this actually might be a new element of intimacy that is being brought into the new scenario that's already occurred in your life, or the new relationship that's already occurred in your life. Again, romantic or platonic, it doesn't matter. Keep that in mind. This is not fun. Okay. So you have to find happiness in yourself. Nobody else is going to be able to make you happy. And in fact, putting that reliance on another is going to make them absolutely resentful or psychotic, or just drop you like a rocket. Or this actually might be somebody that you're dealing with. So either you or somebody that you're dealing with, it feels like it's avoidant energy, and it also feels like putting that energy into somebody else and making them the facilitator. That is not going to work. It is going to come crashing down. It's not going to come changing anything. So then this is where the resentment is. This is where the emotional backlash is, and it feels like dark feminine energy. So they're going to be very blunt and in your face. But also, I feel like this actually might be very healing. So there might be a lot of bumps and hiccups in some sort of situation in your life right now, but also ultimately it leads to the 10 of Cups. So this is emotional fulfillment, but I think that this is because it's bringing all the happiness back to you to facilitate. I think that you're really taking control of your life and getting grounded with yourself and finding this beautiful emotional outlet. So the Sun is not going to remain in reverse. The 8 of Pentacles is not going to remain in reverse. This Queen of Cups is not going to have water going up their nose. It's going to evolve. Now, please understand what I'm telling you. If any situation is toxic, abusive, illegal, I do not care what the cards say. I really do not. Get the hell away from it. Get the F away from it. But if it's not toxic, abusive, or illegal, then I really feel like this is going to be a hiccup that makes you guys stronger. Please understand that. Some things are absolutely worth working for, but not at the point of your physical, mental, or emotional demise. Just want to put that out there. So it looks like trust has been broken, and people are not seeing eye to eye, and it feels like it's in dire straits. It feels like it's a really challenging connection in your life, whether it's romantic or platonic, it doesn't matter. But it seems like it's kind of feeling hopeless right now, and it looks like people are avoiding making any sort of impulsive or drastic moves because they're avoiding, they're avoiding disaster, and also they're avoiding what seems to be the natural place where this is going. Somebody is really deathly afraid of this coming to an end, but also they're afraid of the confrontation of it. This is all major arcana right here, so I know that this is a really big message and some sort of really important connection in your life. Please understand it's either romantic or platonic. It is not strictly romantic. This could be a long-standing issue with family, friends, peers, lovers, colleagues, whatever the role is. But I also see that there's some sort of rite of passage and graduation and ability to move on that is coming into play. It feels very resilient, and it also feels like there's a lot of indecisiveness about how you're going to move forward. So this, you don't know what you want to do. You don't know if you want to continue this or move on. Stop choosing anything other than yourself in this. Choose this for yourself. You making the decision based off of somebody else is not going to work, and it actually completely sacrifices you and gives your life into somebody else's hands, which is grossly unfair to you and to them. And honestly, I don't think that they would quite know what to do with it. So you have the Magician. Please start choosing yourself, because I can guarantee you if the choice was left in someone else's hands, they would be choosing themselves. And I know that you do not want to be in a place where you are discarded or put yourself into that. That is not somebody's place to discard you, and it's not their right. You choose what's best for you. So, again, with this being said, if any situation is toxic, abusive, or illegal, I don't care what the cards say, get the heck away from it. Stay away from it. You do not need to be part of it. If they want to heal and then come back, great, grand, wonderful. That is totally up to you. But don't you dare put yourself in harm's way. So help me God. So it looks like this is a time where you are discovering that somebody had treated you at a disservice. This could be somebody from the past who treated you very poorly and who really did a lot of damage to you, or you've seen just a lot of injustice in something prior. But also I'm seeing that this is something that you have been stuck on for quite some time. I feel like this is something that you can't quite make the ends of, because it seems like it is so illogical and so impractical. Why would somebody continue to do this? This is a point of stop trying to dig at that. Stop trying to figure them out. Stop trying to figure it out. This is where you have to surrender that this was a major injustice to you. This was not fair. It wasn't right. And whoever was involved, you better believe that they were absolute brats. I'm just going to say it like that. The card is talking about the growing loyalty that is presenting itself in your life. So this may be somebody who is a new connection of sorts. It doesn't have to be romantic. This could be platonic. It could be any dynamic. But there's, I guess I kind of got to go back to the first card. The first card is talking about the lack of equality in power play that was going on, the injustice, the misuse of power. What's coming in is something that is going to be of equality. It is going to be as equally caring and useful. Now, this may be something that is already occurring in your life, that is deepening, that you're now starting to register, or this could be something that's incoming. I want you to understand that loyalty is somehow showing up in your life, but I think that the main reason is you're now starting to allow yourself to see the true colors of a situation. You're starting to see people and situations accurately for what it is, and also previous issues or transgressions or imbalance of misuse of power for what it was. This seems to be more challenging than positive, but it leads to positivity. I do see that there is something that is of equal value. We have the owls here. It's wisdom, and it equates to I'm going to say in a very figurative way, death. So this is a new death that is coming into play. Figurative. And with every death is a new life. So this is breathing in new life and a new door and a new opportunity. 'Cause look, they're perched on an egg. I love this. Heart healing. You gotta let yourself start feeling at home and feeling safe. You've got to realize that you are safe to begin with. I see that you have clearly been through a lot, but that has made you put a very hard shell over your heart where you're not going to let anything good come into your life or love your life or even give you any sign of affection, whether it's romantic or platonic. This is something that is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. And I mean that in the best sense. This is a place where you can rest your head, where you can heal, where you can feel safe. And I think that feeling safe, again, is the biggest thing that you could be feeling at this point in time. But with that shell that's over your heart, with your guard that's up, it's bringing me back to your past responses because of the dire straits of your situation or what you've been through. You can't be the same person. You can't behave the same because you're not there anymore. You're not in that scenario. You're not being hurt anymore. You can't walk around with your guard up so high and let yourself be loved. It is absolutely impossible. The love is not going to leave your life. Again, romantic or platonic, it doesn't matter. This love, this either romantic or platonic, is going to be standing at that shell, that wall that you've put up until you learn to let it down. It's not going anywhere. And I think that once you let it down and you see this for what it is, you are going to be able to go through a metamorphosis. Am I saying that right? Metamorphosize? You're gonna allow yourself some sort of transition. But I really feel like you are the caterpillar that went into the chrysalis and became unglued and completely became like this big ball of goo. Reconstructed yourself, and whatever dismantled you now made you this incredibly beautiful, strong-winged butterfly. And you are using all of these colors of experience to really take an amazing flight with yourself. The heart is very much present. Letting down your walls and letting yourself be cared for, letting yourself be loved, let yourself receive all of these blessings, you are going to discover is the best thing that you could have done for yourself. But I also know, because I know, that letting that down is going to be the scariest thing, but those fears will be dismantled immediately. I know you want to heal from whatever pain or trauma you have experienced. I know that you want to move on, but I also know that you identify with that pain very much, and that you're not taking the help that is being provided to you through Source and Spirit. It's like you're almost paying yourself to stay stuck. You're not going to be healing on your own. You've asked Source and Spirit for help, but you're kind of micromanaging and making yourself still do this on your own. No, that's not going to be how this is. You are here with a collaboration. You have to let this life actually be in collaboration with Source and Spirit. You've got to open yourself up more. So this, I know that you have an issue with trust based off of past experience, but Spirit kind of wants you to think of the long term of this. What are you hoping to accomplish through the changes that you're making? What I'm seeing in here is this is really going to depend on the story that you're telling yourself, because on the healing front, when you're healing from your past, your pains, your hurts, your heartaches, the story that you keep telling yourself is one that's going to be reinforced. So what is it that you're saying to yourself? When you have setbacks, what do you reaffirm to yourself? Or do you punch through it, understanding that there's a new way that you can kind of take this? So what I'm getting out of this is, first off, everything that is knocking you back and making you stand up and push yourself forward is very divinely orchestrated. But I don't think that it's just Source, Spirit, and God. I also think that it's your higher self that's kind of being like your puppet master here in the human experience. It knows where you need to go. So while you're trying to sit back and almost pay yourself to keep suffering, this keeps pushing you to the brink of discomfort and change, which I kind of want you to push through. There's something in your life that is healing, that is coming together. And I know that you're going to have to identify less with that pain and more to this this long-term futuristic version of yourself. What does that need from you now in order to be that person in the now, in the future? Does that make sense? So I know that it's really hard for you to not be discouraged by the setbacks or the upsets or even relapses in your life, but I also need you to understand this is giving you an indication of what still needs to be healed and how it gets triggered. I really hope that this made sense. Part of the healing is, actually, healing in general tends to be as painful, and at some points seemingly more painful than the actual wound itself, because you're revisiting it. But it also gives you the ability to utilize these new tools and also utilize new help that's coming in. So this future version of you now needs to be very raw with the healing process now. Does this make sense? It's going to be well worth it. There's a reason why this is happening right now. And when you're on the other side of healing and you are at ease in telling yourself a new story, the reason behind all the healing and why everything transpired the way that it did, it'll be revealed. There's a big reveal. I really hope that this made sense. It's going to be well worth it.
You don't have to be crazy to be my friend. I'll train you.
I don't look like